The following is an excerpt from Chapter 1 of the book Permission to Think by Rob Coles, read by the author. Let me be honest with you right from the start, because I believe you deserve that. The ideas in this book are not brand new. You've probably heard some version of most of them before in a podcast, at a seminar, from your wise grandmother, or in one of those motivational videos you watch at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep. What I'm offering you here is not a revolutionary discovery. It's a different way of saying it. Sometimes the same truth delivered in a slightly different voice at exactly the right moment in your life is the thing that finally makes it click. That's what I'm hoping this book will be for you, the version that clicks. Of course, there's also a very real possibility that you'll read this entire book, nod enthusiastically at every chapter, tell 3 friends about it, post a picture of it on Instagram with a latte and a motivational caption, and then do absolutely nothing. Don't look so offended. We've all done it. Remember that fitness book you bought last January? You know, the one about meal prepping and morning routines. How's that going? Yeah, I thought so. Your meal prep containers are currently holding leftover takeout, and your morning routine's hitting snooze 4 times and then scrolling past your phone in a panic. Hey, look, no judgment, but let's at least be honest about the pattern. Here's what I want you to understand, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. The only thing that separates people who achieve extraordinary things from the people who just read about them is action. That's it. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not who you know or where you went to school. It's the willingness to take what you learn and actually do something with it. Every single day, people with half your intelligence and a quarter of your potential are out there building the lives they want simply because they decided to move. They decided that good enough wasn't good enough and they got to work. You can be one of those people. In fact, I believe that you already are. You just might not have given yourself permission yet. But let's talk about what usually happens instead, shall we? You read the book, you feel inspired, you make a vision board. Oh, the vision boards, covered in magazine cutouts of beach houses and luxury cars and people doing yoga on cliffs. You put it on your wall, take a step back, admire your handiwork, and feel a warm glow of accomplishment, and then nothing. Vision board collects dust. The beach house remains someone else's. The luxury car stays in the dealership, and you go back to binge watching reality TV and wondering why nothing ever changes. Here's the spoiler alert. The vision board isn't the plan, it's the arts and crafts. So here's my genuine heartfelt call to action for you. Don't just read this book. Work it. Treat it like a manual, not a novel. When I ask you to write something down, write it down. When I challenge you to think about something uncomfortable, sit with that discomfort instead of skipping ahead. When I suggest an exercise, do the exercise. Even if it feels silly, even if you think you already know the answer. Because knowing and doing are 2 entirely different countries, and most people have a passport to the first, but haven't even applied for a visa to the second. I want you in that second country. I want you building a life there. And please, for the love of everything you hold dear, stop telling yourself you'll start Monday. Monday is the most abused day of the week. Monday's become the universal dumping ground for every good intention you have no real plan to follow. I'll start eating healthy Monday. I'll start waking up early on Monday. I'll start working on my goals Monday. Monday comes, and what do? You eat a donut, you sleep till noon, and you push everything to next Monday. Monday's not your friend. In this arrangement, today is your friend. Right now is your friend. This very moment while you're reading these words is the only guaranteed time you have. So let's use it. Now I want to talk about something that might be the most important idea in this entire book, and I want you to really let it sink in. Before you can build a plan, before you can take action, before you can achieve anything meaningful, you have to figure out what you actually want. Not what you think you should want. Not what your parents want for you. Not what looks impressive on paper or gets the most likes on social media. What do you, the real, private, innermost you, actually want your life to look like? This question sounds simple, but I promise you, most people have never honestly answered it. Think about it. How many of your current goals are actually yours? Be honest. That corner office you've been chasing, do you actually want to spend 60 hours a week under fluorescent lights managing people you don't like? Or did someone once tell you that's what success looks like and you just believed them? That six-figure salary, will it make you happy, or will it just make your college roommate jealous at the reunion? That giant house in the suburbs, do you want to mow that lawn every weekend, or did you just see it in a movie and think, yeah, that looks like something a successful person would have? Half the things we chase aren't even ours. They're hand-me-down dreams from people who didn't achieve them either. When you take time to discover what truly lights you up inside, what makes you lose track of time, what fills you with energy instead of draining it, what you do even if nobody was watching or paying you, something magical happens. Your motivation stops becoming something that you have to manufacture, and it starts becoming something you can barely contain. Think about a time when you were so excited about something you couldn't wait to get started. Maybe it was a hobby, a creative project, or helping someone you cared about. Remember that feeling? That's what authentic desire feels like. And when your goals are aligned with that feeling, you don't need discipline or willpower. You need an alarm clock to remind you to stop and eat. Compare that to the last time you tried to force yourself to do something you didn't actually care about. Remember that online course you bought for $497 because a stranger on the internet told you it would make you rich? The one you completed exactly 2 modules of before developing a sudden passionate interest in reorganizing your sock drawer. That wasn't a discipline problem. That was a desire problem. You didn't want it. You wanted to want it, which is a completely different thing. It's like saying you love running when what you actually love is the idea of being someone who runs. Meanwhile, your running shoes are so clean they can pass for new, and your treadmill has become the world's most expensive coat rack. I want to encourage you to be radically honest with yourself as you move through this book. Give yourself permission to want what you want, even if it doesn't match what everybody around you expects. Maybe you don't want the corner office. Maybe you want to open a bakery. Maybe you don't want the big house. Maybe you want to travel the world with a backpack and a laptop. Maybe you don't want to climb the corporate ladder. Maybe you want to build your own ladder and put it against a completely different wall. All that's valid. All that is worthy. The only goal that isn't worthy is someone else's goal that you've been carrying around, pretending it's your own.